What's up, Mavericks? This is Erica, writer and editor over here at Merchant Maverick. Today I'm going to show you how to categorize transactions on QuickBooks Online. You'll want to categorize your transactions to keep your financial records accurate, plan out your budgets, just keep everything organized for tax time. I'm going to show you how to manually categorize transactions, as well as an easy way to get QuickBooks to automatically categorize your transactions. Before we get started, I want to mention a quick tip. Anytime you're messing around with QuickBooks, I recommend using the QuickBooks Online Test Drive. You don't even have to sign up to use it. It has a sample company already set up with numbers plugged in. It's also completely free. It's a great way to test QuickBooks if you haven't signed up yet. Even if you already have a subscription, I recommend using it just to get the hang of everything so you don't mess up your own account. To get to your transactions to start categorizing them, you're going to go over here to the side menu, under transactions. Just hover over that and it's going to have this pop out, and we're going to click on bank transactions. On this test drive, it's set up, as you can see, up under here, under bookmarks. Bank transactions is there too. It's the same menu. It's just been bookmarked. If you want to do this on your own account, just go under menu, transactions, bank transactions, and click this little icon. We're going to click right here. We're going to enter into our uncategorized transactions. So we're going to focus on these three tabs here for review, categorized, and excluded. We're actually not going to mess with excluded. We're mainly going to be in the for review tab, but we'll kind of mess around with the categorized in just a minute. But we're going to start, and you'll see here under categorize or match, we have uncategorized income and uncategorized expenses. We're going to start right here at the top at the Books by Bessie, which appears to be income we've received in the amount of $55. So this sample company is a landscaping and design company. So we're going to assume that this $55 that we received from Books by Bessie is for a product that we sold. When you click on the transaction, you're going to see all of this information here, and some of it might apply to your business. We're just going to focus right here in the middle on account. Right now it's uncategorized income, and we want to categorize this. Again, we're going to assume that Books by Bessie bought a product from us. We're going to click this drop down, and you can see all of our income accounts are all grouped together nicely. All of the expense accounts are grouped, I believe, at the top. So we're going to go sales of product income because we have sold her a product. You can also select a product or service. We're going to keep this really simple and basic. Another area where I want you to look is the memo here. You can add in anything here relevant to this transaction. That could be a product description, an item number, a job description, anything like that. So we're just going to put fountain pump. Books by Bessie purchased a fountain pump. So we're going to add that in the memo. We change the account to sales of product income, and we're going to click add. It's going to take just a minute. You're going to see at the top it says transaction categorized, and you'll also see Books by Bessie transaction has been removed from our list. It has been moved over here to categorized. We actually have a lot of things under here, but it's the last one we did, so it's right here at the top. You can see that that transaction is here. Now let's assume that we miscategorize this. Really, it's simple to go in and correct that error. We're going to simply click undo. It's going to pop up the description and the memo, and we're going to click undo. It's going to go right back over here under the for review tab. So I'm going to use that transaction to show you something else. We assumed when we categorized that Books by Bessie purchased a fountain pump for $55. Let's assume more than one category will apply to this transaction. So in this example, we'll say that Books by Bessie purchased a fountain pump, but also had us install it for her. We're going to want to categorize those in two different ways. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to go to split. And you'll see that this will pop up, and there's going to be two different lines. You can add more lines if you're going to categorize it more than two ways, but we're just going to stick to two. And we're going to say that Books by Bessie purchased a cheaper fountain pump and also had it installed. So we're going to go in and we're going to go to sales of product income. We'll type in the description that she purchased the fountain pump, and we'll say that she paid $25 for that. We still, if you can see over here, the split amount is $25, original amount's $55, so there's a $30 difference. What did Books by Bessie spend the remaining $30 on? she spent it on having it installed. So we're going to go here, and you can either click and search for who it was received from, or you can just type it in if you already know the name. Books by Bessie. So we're going to say the category. Now we said that she had the fountain pump installed. We're going to scroll down, job expenses, installation, and we'll put in the description, installation of fountain pump, and we charged her $30 to do that. So as you can see, the difference now is $0. All funds from this $55 transaction are accounted for, and we're going to split and add. You can also add a memo here or upload any attachments. So we're going to split and add. Transaction categorized, you can see that was removed from this list under For Review. We're going to click on the Categorize tab, and there's Books by Bessie, the split transaction. That is how you go in and categorize your transactions manually. However, if you have recurring transactions that you want QuickBooks to automatically categorize for you without going through this manual process, there is an option for that. You can set bank rules. So this is good, for example, if you go to the office supply store once a week, once a month, and all you do is purchase office supplies, and you want that charged to your office supply expense account. You don't want to go in and manually do this every time, so you can go in and create rules so that when a transaction from that office supply store pops up, QuickBooks will automatically categorize it for you. It's also great if you go to a coffee shop every morning for your morning coffee, or if you just have recurring transactions that are always going to be categorized the same way. So fortunately, this is set up so that we have 3 transactions from the same company, a rental. We have 2 expenses that are uncategorized and 1 income. We're going to focus on this first uncategorized expense to create our rules so that QuickBooks will automatically categorize everything for us. So we're going to go ahead and click on it just as we did before, but instead of coming up here under account, we're going to scroll down and you're going to see create a rule. Now, one thing I want to point out is that the bank detail says A1 rental backhoe rental. So we can assume that from a rental, we rent a backhoe in order to complete our landscaping and design jobs. So we're going to create a rule. You want to name this rule. So you can name it the company name. You can name it what it's for. In this example, we could just say backhoe rental. If you have some other procedure in your company for naming things, use that. But we're going to keep it really simple, and we're just going to name it a rental. So the next section is apply this to transactions that are money out in checking. So for this example, we want this to apply to expenses or money out from our checking account from a rental. You can also go money in. So if you have any income coming in, recurring, and you can also change this so that you can check your savings account, checking account, your MasterCard or credit cards, or all of your bank accounts. But we're just going to focus on this checking account. This next section is where we're going to add our conditions. So right now we have it set up that all transactions that have a description that contains a rental will be included. You can also add a condition for bank text or the amount of the transaction. You can change this if it doesn't contain or if it's word for word exactly. But we're just going to say the description contains a rental. You can also add more conditions, and then you can change this to where the transaction has to meet all of the conditions you've set or just simply one or more. We're just going to keep it very basic. We have this set that any money coming out of our checking account is going to a rental will be categorized using this rule. So we're going to test the rule. It says this rule will apply to 2 currently unreviewed transactions. So if you remember, back on this main screen, we did have 2 currently unreviewed transactions under the name a rental. We did have a third, but that's income, and we will handle that in just a minute. Right here is where you're going to assign the category for categorizing any expense for a rental. You can change the transaction type, but we're going to leave an expense. And then what we're really going to want to focus on right here is the category. So because this is a backhoe rental, we are going to go and we're going to try to find equipment rentals or any kind of rentals. And there we go. Equipment rental, the product or service. You can do the split if you want to categorize it in two different ways. Let's say that from a rental, we rent a backhoe, but they also have an employee that comes out and performs maintenance on some of our own equipment. You can go into that and either set a percentage of the transaction that is applied to one category and the remainder that is applied to another, or you can set a specific amount. We're not going to do all of that. We're just going to keep it really simple, and we're going to assume that all of these expenses from a rental are for the backhoe equipment rental. You can add a payee, you can add a customer. Again, we're just keeping it very basic. Again, this is just going to vary based on the expenses and income of your business, how you choose to categorize things. We're keeping it at a very basic level. So we can already see that auto add is enabled to automatically confirm transactions this rule applies to, and we are going to save this. So as you can see, the two expenses from a rental have been removed from the For Review tab. We click on the Categorize tab, and there we go. A rental is added to job expenses, equipment rentals. Now, we're going to go back because if you notice, this previously uncategorized income from a rental has now been categorized as equipment rentals. Now, this is income, and if we click on this, we'll see under the bank detail, this was a deposit refund. This is not where we are going to categorize this particular transaction. QuickBooks will automatically categorize things for your review based on past history, past actions you've taken. Anything under For Review, you'll definitely just want to check it out and make sure that it's accurate. So we're clicking on this income, and this was a deposit refund, so we're going to go in here and we're going to scroll down to income, get out of these expense accounts. And we're going to try to find something that we'll just go with other income for now. I don't know how this is set up. We're going to click add. Again, you can put in a memo, vendor, product, service, all that. We're keeping it very simple. So we're going to click add. And as you can see, that has gone away. It is over here in categorized. A rental, and yeah, you can see that was auto added by rule. The two expenses from a rental, and then the income we just added is another income. So we only have one left. By this point, you should have a good idea how to categorize expenses, how to set up rules. Again, use this QuickBooks test drive so you can get in here and test, just kind of mess around with things, and you don't have to worry about messing up your own accounts and trying to clean it up later. And you'll see how easy it is to categorize expenses. I hope this is helpful for you. Let us know if that you have any problems with QuickBooks that you would like to address in a walkthrough, whether it's something that's really easy or even something a little more complex and niche. We'd love to do more of these Loom walkthroughs to help you get the most out of your accounting software. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, Mavericks.